everyone. My name is Erin and I am the co-founder and CEO at Willful. And I'm here to talk to you today about planned giving in a pandemic. So you're seeing a photo of me on the screen with my co-founder and husband, Kevin Olds. And we got into this business when his uncle passed away unexpectedly a few years ago. He had a will, but he had never discussed things outside of that with his family. And so Kevin and his aunt were left with unanswered questions and a mess to navigate. And that experience with our family really exposed a problem, which is that Canadians aren't thinking about or talking about their legacy. And we've commissioned some research that highlights that 57% of Canadian adults don't have a will, and 2/3 of parents with minor children, arguably the group that needs them most, don't have a will. And of those who do have a will, about 1 in 10 are actually out of date. So we're just, as a nation, not really prepared for our passing. And I know that many of you probably work with your donors on legacy giving topics, and you try to influence them giving you legacy gifts in their will. And a lot of financial advisors are speaking to their clients about these topics, but it can be hard to actually incentivize action. It's something that people procrastinate and put off because it can be inconvenient, unaffordable, and also just uncomfortable to think about our own passing. So why now? Why is this a hot topic today? Well, COVID has really not only pushed consumers into caring about estate planning and emergency planning as a whole, it's also put the legal space forward about 5 to 10 years in terms of what we can actually do online. As soon as COVID hit in mid-March, we saw a massive influx of people who were all of a sudden really concerned about emergency planning and looking to get these documents into place. We saw a 500% increase in the traffic to our website of people coming to Willful and creating their will online with us. And we also saw a 450% increase in sales month over month. So we just saw an immediate impact on the consumer interest and demand for estate planning. We also concurrently saw big leaps and bounds forward in terms of how we create wills. So Ontario and other provinces allowed for virtual witnessing of wills for the first time ever as part of the emergency orders related to COVID. And we also saw a big conversation start about pushing the laws forward to allow for digital signatures on wills, online storage of wills, and making virtual witnessing a permanent change instead of just a temporary one as part of the emergency orders. And we actually launched a petition asking the Attorney General to update these laws to make it easier for donors and the average Canadian to get these documents in place, knowing how few of them actually do. And we've also seen as a result of COVID that the amount of money that is flowing to charities as a legacy gift is actually increasing because of the increased interest in wills. So a company called Fair Will, which is essentially Willful's UK equivalent, did actually some research that found that the amount of money that was written into wills in April was worth £35 million, which was up from £4 million during the same period in 2019. So we know that there's a heightened interest in estate planning, that estate planning is going to become easier for Canadians due to digital advances, and that more money is being left to charities in wills as a result of this. But we also know that legacy giving is not something that the average Canadian wants to do. Only 12% of Canadians, according to our research with Angus Reid, only 12% of Canadians plan to leave a gift to charity in their will. A third of people are undecided on whether they want to leave a legacy gift, but millennials are 2 times more likely than boomers to leave a legacy gift, which presents a big opportunity to get these numbers up and actually increase the percentage of people that are leaving legacy gifts in their wills. We are very passionate about this at Willful. We present every user with a call to action to leave money to a charity, and we work with charities across Canada on how to actually incentivize their donors to complete their wills and ideally to leave them a legacy gift. So what can you as charities or even financial advisors or anyone really who's having conversations with donors or with clients or with consumers actually influence them to take action? It's the age-old question. How do you get someone to stop procrastinating and actually complete their will? Well, I think there's really 3 things that we can be doing. The first is to educate donors. I mean, really, there's so many myths around estate planning and legacy giving. And we hear from people all the time that, it's taking money out of my beneficiaries' pockets. And I don't want to leave a gift when I pass away. I want to do it while I'm alive. It's complicated and I have no idea how to go about it. Our job is to educate people, to remove the stigma, to eliminate the myths, and to educate them on how this is a tax efficient way to have a positive impact after you're gone. We do that through social media content. We also do it through videos. CAGP's own Paul Nazareth was a guest in one of our video guides to legacy giving. And this is a great piece of content that we can share. If I'm a charity in Canada, I would be focusing on the heightened interest at this time to be educating my donors in the exact same way, using a variety of digital content. We know consumers are spending so much more time on their phones because of COVID. So using blog posts like this to educate them, social media posts, or any other resources that you have at your disposal are a great way to incentivize that education, which then inspires them to take action. The second thing that you can do is to partner with gatekeepers. I mean, you have your own donor base, but you also have so many people out there who care about your organization who might not know they can make a difference. We are proud to be a partner of Willpower, and I know many of you probably are as well. But figuring out who are the gatekeepers, who's talking to Canadians about legacy giving, whether that is financial advisors, whether that's companies like Willful, or whether that's people like CAGP who are doing the good work to spread the word through mainstream media campaigns. And so whether that is partnering up or whether it's just creating strategic alignments, that's a really great way for you to provide more awareness beyond just your own marketing channels. And finally, the third way that you can have impact is to go digital to convert. We know people are spending more time on their phones. We know millennials are more likely to give a legacy gift. So it's not about, I'm on the board of Save the Children Canada, and I know from working with many charities that it's a pretty offline process to influence legacy gifts right now. It's a lot of phone campaigns and direct mail, including, calls to action with their tax receipts. It's time for charities to go digital in these communications. And that means having specific digital initiatives, from email campaigns to donors to landing pages on your website that highlight the opportunities for legacy giving and how to easily close the loop by visiting a professional. So hopefully those are 3 ways that you can actually influence people to leave a legacy gift during a pandemic. And if I have one takeaway, it's that Canadians are thinking about estate planning right now, and legacy giving can be a hugely influential part of that. So it's never been a better time to undertake some of these initiatives. Thanks so much for listening.